everyone and welcome back. So I think I haven't posted a YouTube video in near enough 4 weeks. Oh my God, that's like a whole month. That's crazy. I have got two really exciting things to update you on today. One is a little bit obvious from my surroundings, but we're gonna start with the most exciting one, which is that I have launched my own workout guide. So I've launched Workout Guide, I have called it Accomplish. This specific guide, by the way, I'm planning on releasing a few, hopefully. This specific one is called Accomplish Cut, and I'm so excited to be able to share this with you finally. I had actually really planned on doing a whole YouTube video to sort of like go along with the launch of it, and to be quite honest with you, I've just had absolutely no time. We've had so much going on at the moment, but I thought I would share it with you guys over YouTube today. So Accomplish Cut pretty much is a 12-week workout guide that comes with a high protein recipe book. There are 52 recipes in the book. They're pretty much suitable for every diet. There are lots of gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian options in there, and it also comes with an entire Accomplish handbook, which I thought would actually go really well with the video that I'm going to film today. The Accomplish handbook is pretty much a collection of topics that I wish that I had known when I started my fitness journey. I think are genuinely going to really help girls just to get the most out of the guide in general. There are topics like mindset, mind muscle connection, fat loss, progressive overload. Honestly, there are about 23 pages of information, really condensed to try and help you guys as much as possible. I'm sure over my next few videos I'm going to end up talking way more about it, but all the links will be in the description box. My website is just www.annie-openshaw.com. All the workouts, by the way, are available on the Athletes app, which is so cool. So you can literally take your phone to the gym with you, have the app set up, and if you don't have internet, you can like pre-download the little workout videos. It's all just set up, ready to go. I honestly believe in this product so much, and I just can't wait for some of you guys to start it as well. We've already got such an amazing accomplished community forming, and I just can't wait to grow this with you guys. Honestly, it's like my little baby, and I've been waiting so long to do this, and I can't believe that it is finally here. So the next thing to update you on is obviously I'm in a new flat, and pretty much as I explained in my last video, Elliot and I have basically signed a new flat together, which is kind of strange because I'm not living in it properly until November, but this is the flat. So Elliot's fully moved in now, and to be honest, I've sort of been living half here and half with my house with my friends, and it's worked out so well. I am so excited to properly move in eventually, as much as I am going to be really sad to not live with my friends. But if you guys want to see a flat tour or anything like that, we would obviously love to share this with you. We've got loads of little like interior design things we want to do, loads of stuff that's not right yet, all things that we need to buy, but we are just super excited about it. It's a massive life change. I feel like there've just been so many crazy changes at the moment. But for today's video, I wanted to go through things that I wish I knew before I'd started. I think a lot of you guys that watch my videos are either at the start of your fitness journey and still unsure about a lot of things, and I just honestly think that over the years I picked up so many valuable tips that will be amazing to share with you guys. The first tip I have is not to always just copy someone else. I know how easy it is to kind of find yourself an idol on Instagram and YouTube and trying to replicate what they do, but there are actually two parts to this that I wanted to talk about. The first one is not copy someone's nutrition. So it's fine to get inspiration from it, but everybody is going to be different. I get lots of DMs about sharing the amount of calories, the macro numbers that I eat every single day. But in all honesty, that's not really going to help you because we are all completely different. We're all going to have a different TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, which means that copying someone else isn't necessarily going to do the same thing for you. So I could say that I eat 1,800 calories in order to lose fat, but if you are a lot heavier than me or a lot taller than me or a lot smaller than me, if you copied my 1,800 calories, that's not necessarily going to work for you. My best advice in terms of working out macros and calories would be to do it through a macro calculator online, where you can add in all of your stats, your weight, your height, your age, whether you're male or female, how much exercise you do in a day or in a week, and everything like that, and properly calculate it to suit your goals. The second part to this point about copying someone else is don't always try and copy someone else's exercises or workouts. What someone else does isn't necessarily going to work for you. There's no point copying someone who has a really bodybuilder, weightlifting style of training just because you idolize your body, and then realizing that you actually hate that style of training and you then find it really difficult to stick to. I've also been guilty of this over the years, of trying to find someone's workout program that I think is going to be like the perfect program for me, and then figuring out that I don't enjoy it because there's no higher intensity exercises in there. It's really great to get inspiration from someone else, but if you aren't enjoying that kind of workout or those kind of exercises, then you're realistically not going to stick to them. My next point is to educate yourself. There is so much information out there online these days that you can read up on to really understand why you're trying to implement something into your fitness or healthy lifestyle regime. It's really helpful to know what muscle is working when you're doing a certain exercise. So for example, with core exercises, making sure you're actually feeling it deep in your core when you're performing the exercise and you're not feeling it in your lower back. It's really important to understand exactly what muscle group you're working doing an exercise. You don't understand how beneficial that can actually be for your progress. I've actually got a whole section of this in my Accomplished Handbook that goes along with my guide, because I think this is so important and really crucial for progress. I think this is also so important when it comes to nutrition, so understanding what macros actually do, so what your proteins are good for, your fats are good for, and overall I just think it really helps you to make more informed choices. My next point is understand what it means to really push yourself. And I'm saying that because I absolutely didn't at the beginning. And sometimes you just need a little bit of a wake-up call. So I think for the first year that I was training in the gym, I trained alongside Elliot, and I'd always think like, these sessions are hard, but like not that hard, and I was always really afraid to move up a weight, and I would stick around somewhere where I was really comfortable and I could always complete my 10 to 12 reps very comfortably. Now this is not going to help you at all. Being comfortable is not going to help you, and it's really not going to help you with progressing. I saw the biggest difference in my body when I finally started really pushing myself. So be honest with yourself. Are your sessions really strenuous, really tiring, and are you completing the last rep of each set very comfortably? Because I definitely was. And the minute I broke out of that and really tried to push myself, that last rep of every single set was a massive struggle and nearly impossible. Believe me, it's such a key to progressing, and I think a really good thing to help yourself out with this is to write down the weights that you're using every single session. So whether that's you take a notebook with you to the gym or write it in the notes of your phone, and really aim to move that weight up, even if it's only by half a kilogram or a quarter of a kilogram, almost every single time if you can. This is called progressive overload, and again, I've got a whole topic of this in my Accomplished Handbook because I just think it's so crucial, and you will see a lot of visible changes from implementing this. My next point is one you've probably heard so many times before, but it's that lifting weights won't necessarily make you bulky. So to get bulky from lifting weights, you more than likely need to be eating a lot of food to go alongside this. I'm talking like, for me, I would need to be eating around 3,000 calories a day, which would really be pushing it for me to be able to get bulky from lifting weights. There's a bit of a myth that cardio and like HIIT training style stuff is what's going to make you burn fat, and weightlifting is what's going to just increase your muscle mass and not necessarily make you burn fat. At the end of the day, it's all about calories in versus calories out. Weightlifting will also make you burn calories, and therefore if you are putting yourself in a calorie deficit by lifting weights, you are still going to burn fat. I wear the exact same clothes size now as I did when I started to lift weights, but my body looks completely different, and that's definitely all down to weightlifting. My next point is that you can't choose where you lose fat. Please don't try and follow workouts that tell you that you can shake your hips using the workout, lose your bingo wings using the workout, lose fat from your legs or your hips or whatever. You can't do that.
Did you see what I did there?
It's a scam.
That just isn't how it works. Your genetics, fortunately or unfortunately for you, will decide where you lose fat from first. So me, for example, I am never gonna have skinny legs. I strive to have skinny legs for probably like 22, maybe even 23 years, and that is just not how my body is made up. And I really want you guys to make sure, as much as aesthetic goals are okay, just make sure that you are working out for the right reasons, to feel good, for mental clarity, and to get fit and things like that, rather than just to change your body shape. Understand that you're made in a certain way and try and help yourself on a journey to accepting that, rather than trying to think that you can change your genetic makeup. The next point is that under eating can be detrimental. So you might think that the best way for you to lose fat quickly is to drop your calories down really, really low. But in fact, that is just not the case. You're much better off going into a slight deficit, seeing whether you lose fat there or you need to go a little bit lower before you jump straight down. If you jump straight down without getting into the science and the nitty gritty, if you jump straight down to a really, really low calorie intake, you've then got nowhere to go. Your body will really quickly adjust to eating that number of calories, and then to make progress, you'll have to drop it even further down. Before you know it, you're in a dangerous amount of calories. Eating a really low calorie diet can have a big negative impact on your body. There are tons of things that go alongside this, like potentially losing your period or not getting in all the nutrients you need. But just really make sure you do your research before you get yourself into a calorie deficit, and don't always think that the best way to do it is to go from 2,000 calories to 1,200 calories. I always suggest a gradual drop, and like I mentioned before, there are lots of places you can go to online like IIFYM that will suggest a gradual calorie deficit, and that is definitely the best way to go. Make sure you take progress pictures. I was so guilty of not doing this at all, to be honest, before lockdown. I think I'd taken sort of 2, maybe 3 in my whole fitness journey, and they have just been so amazing for me to be able to look back on. Now I know at the start, if you're beginning your fitness journey when you're already unhappy with your body, they're not necessarily the best things to take, but honestly, take them, store them away in a folder where you can't see them. Download one of those like Vault apps for your phone so you don't have to see them on your camera roll or anything like that, but honestly, you will thank yourself so much for them later. Also, if you're not training for an aesthetic goal, which I think is amazing, they're also really beneficial, I think, to remember where your head was at the time. If you were feeling unhappy, if you've improved your relationship with food or exercise or things like that, they are just such a good way of tracking your progress. I would always suggest trying to take them every week or every other week. Try and take them at the same time of the day before you've eaten anything, in around the same lighting, same mirror, or get someone else to take them for you. Just try and keep them as consistent as you can. But they're honestly amazing for comparing progress, and I wish that I had done this at the start of my fitness journey. So my next two are don't be all or nothing and there is no magic shortcut. I'm going to put these two kind of together, even though I'd written them out separately, because I think they honestly just cross over so much. So I was such an all or nothing person when I started out, and I think a lot of you are. So I would stay on track for 3 days. I'd then have a pizza one evening, and then I'd be like,
what's the point in this whole thing? I might as well take the rest of the week off. I've undone all my progress. I've ruined everything.
And that is just not the case. The best thing to do is, if you feel like you've let yourself slip slightly, just wake up the next day, or if it's the morning, the next meal, just get back on it. Consistency is so key, and when I say there are no magic shortcuts, a big part of that to me is consistency. So there's nothing that's gonna really, really quickly make you lose fat. And vice versa, if you've been really, really consistent, having one meal that's not the ideal healthy meal isn't gonna hinder your progress. One thing that I would really struggle with being an all or nothing person is I'm in a friendship group where we like to kind of go out, we like to drink and really, really enjoy ourselves, whether that be eating out or just nights out in general. And I would really struggle to feel like they could ever fit into my lifestyle. So I would always feel really guilty doing those at the start of my fitness journey, and I struggled to get back on track afterwards because I tend to go out drinking and then the next day I'm really hungover and I don't realistically want to wake up and eat scrambled eggs and egg whites on toast. I want to order Deliveroo, Uber Eats takeaways with my friends, and that is absolutely okay. Just wake up the day after that, get back on track, and realistically, it's not going to massively hinder your progress in the long run. I actually think that overall, making sure that your lifestyle is really well-rounded and you've got lots of things that you really enjoy in there can actually be way more beneficial for progress in the long run anyway, because you'll be enjoying it more, it'll be easier to stick to, which equals consistency. The other thing that I wanted to touch on with the there are no magic shortcuts point is that
there are no magic shortcuts.
There are no pills or extra supplements you can take or crazy foods that you can eat that are going to make you make more progress. So I definitely went through a stage of like cleansing my cupboards from all of these foods, which are pretty normal foods to eat, and add in these like superfoods and extra supplements that I thought were going to really, really help me get there. Again, this all just leads back to consistency, making sure you've got a well-rounded diet, a well-rounded lifestyle, and are hitting the gym or doing whatever exercise you fancy, and you'll be well on your way. You don't need all these magic shortcuts, fads, things like that. So those are a few tips that I really, really wish that I had known when I started out on my fitness journey, and I hope will help you guys out a little of it. As I mentioned before, Accomplished Cat, my new workout guide, I still can't believe I'm saying that, will all be linked in the description box for you. Let me know if you end up getting your hands on it or any questions at all. Get me on Instagram or comment down below. But thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I promise you there will be lots of videos coming soon. I started a whole YouTube content plan, but do let me know if there's anything specific that you want to see, and I'll see you in my next video.